Good evening. How are you?
As always, and yourself?
Very good. It's been 5 years since the last time we chatted.
And how are you proceeding, my friend?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. I think I'm doing okay.
Excellent. And what have you to share with me today?
Well, I'd like to start off with some quick questions about other focuses. Do I have a focus in the court of Nefertiti?
One moment. Yes.
Do I have a focus around Anne Boleyn?
Yes. A cousin.
A cousin. Okay, cool. Was I a nun in Brazil in the 1800s?
Yes.
Very good. My daughter Georgia, I know she's soft orientation like me, but I'm thinking her essence is not dispersed. Is that right?
Yes.
Very good. Last time we spoke, you said I had 4,500 other focuses. What's my number now?
Your impression?
3,600?
And 2.
Wow, thank you. Am I
You're
engaging?
welcome.
Yes. Am I engaging in energy exchange?
Are you?
Well, not sure whether it's an energy exchange or I'm channeling. It's one or the other.
I would say that channeling and an energy exchange are the same unless you are channeling your own essence, and then it wouldn't be.
Yes. So I believe that I have connected with an aspect of the Egyptian goddess Maat and that I am communicating with her. Is that correct?
Are correct.
Yes. So what subject matter is being offered through me by Goddess Maat?
I would ask you that. You are engaging it.
Well, I use it when I'm doing readings for people. I work with mostly women now, and when I'm doing readings, that's when I believe that it comes in and I get the information that way. Is that right?
You are correct, and therefore in that, what information are you offering and expressing?
Well, it's, life coaching and psychotherapy. I mean, I'm helping women with their emotional and psychological issues.
And I would be acknowledging of you and encouraging you.
Thank you. Was Maat actually incarnated during Egyptian times, or was she extra-dimensional during that period?
I would express that, yes, there was a physical manifestation for a brief time framework, although disengaged very young.
And was I present? Was I in Egypt with Maat? Is that why I've connected with her?
Yes.
Right. And is Maat the same energy? They have lots of names for those ancient, I mean, she's supposed to be mother of the gods and all the way back to in ancient civilization. I'm wondering if it's the same energy as Mami, Ninmah, Ninhursag, Reea. Are they all the same essence?
Yes, you are correct.
Terrific. So I'm wondering how I can look. I've been connecting with this energy for a number of years. It comes into the right side of my body. I'm trying to develop it even further, simply to be of greater service to my clients. And I'm wondering if you have any advice about anything I could do to make it work better.
I would say that you are engaging it quite well as you are, and that I would merely express an encouragement to you that you continue to allow yourself to flow with that energy and change with it as it changes. For any energy exchange will move through different stages and change. And in that, if you continue to allow yourself to change with it, then you will be allowing the greatest flow and the greatest capacity that is possible in any given time framework with that essence.
Okay. I had a lot of trouble connecting with Mary for this appointment. I also had a lot of trouble last time I booked an appointment with Tomkin. Same thing happened. Her phone went down. She didn't have a phone. And I've had a lot of chats with dead guys over the years, but, you know, for one reason or another, I've lost most of the recordings. I'm imagining that all of that is purposeful. Can you give me your perspective on why I have such trouble nowadays connecting with other dead guys?
I would say that a significant amount of this has to do with what you do and your interaction with essence. That what happens is that when you become very connected with another essence and you are engaging an energy exchange and it is flowing and you do it consistently, that energy then, for the most part, is almost always with you and around you. And that creates an interference. That actually creates a considerable interference. It makes the situation very difficult to connect with other essences in this objective manner. It doesn't create any additional difficulties in connecting with another essence in a similar manner to how you engage with the essence that you are engaging in energy exchange with. Therefore, you can engage other essences in capacities such as meditations or dream state, and in that avenue, but it becomes difficult to engage other essences in this form that you and I are engaging now. And also that does affect the recordings or the logging, in a manner of speaking, of information and material from other essences. The energy exchange itself creates a situation in which, first of all, other essences won't be intrusive, and therefore they are more reserved or pulled back, in a manner of speaking, in relation to engaging with anyone that is actively engaging an energy exchange. This is not only you. This occurs with anyone that is engaging an energy exchange, that they will likely experience more difficulty in connecting in an objective manner with another essence. Therefore, what I would say to you is, it isn't that it is impossible. Obviously, you are engaging myself now, and you have engaged other essences. Therefore, it isn't impossible, but it is challenging. Therefore, what I would say to you is, if you want to engage with another essence at any point, to definitely remind yourself to be patient. That is a very important expression, because that will ultimately allow you, for that is what patience is, to connect with the other essence, and not to be frustrated if it has some glitches or hurdles and it doesn't occur immediately, because it likely won't.
Right.
But I would express that if you are expressing that allowance, if you are being patient, that eventually you will allow that to happen. It is a matter of timing. It is a matter of that timing in which that essence that you are engaging isn't fully present with you, which is not very often.
Yeah, it feels like she's there all the time. I just have to tune into her, and it only takes a matter of seconds, really.
Correct. Therefore, that is the point, is that essence is not far from you very often. And that would be the timing factor, is that when that essence may be somewhat pulled back from you momentarily, then there is an opening in which you can engage with another essence. Now, what I would say to you, and this you can use for future reference, if you want to be engaging with another essence objectively in this capacity, you can actually intentionally request the essence that you are engaging in energy exchange with to step back.
Okay, thank you.
Doing so, that essence will comply with your request, and that will also allow and opening much more quickly.
Very good.
Let me say to you that as an acknowledgement, there are many pieces of energy exchanges that in actuality can be expressed rather simply, but most of the human individuals that engage these energy exchanges aren't aware of it, such as that expression, that you have that ability, that you can request that essence to step back, and that will allow you that opening to engage other essences. Now, this is a very simple action, but it is one of those subjects that you wouldn't necessarily think of.
Yeah.
Wouldn't necessarily consider.
Yeah.
And very similar to individuals that ask the questions, why would you as an essence not be informing the individual that you are engaging with the energy exchange that there is a significant possibility of physical expressions connected with the energy exchange. And in that, most of the essences will express some information in relation to that, but also we acknowledge the individual's right to their own choices, and therefore if they ask a particular action be followed, the essence will genuinely respect that and acknowledge that. But if there is no request, then there generally won't be an offering either. Many of the actions in an energy exchange are a matter of the human individual asking questions. That if the questions aren't asked, the information isn't necessarily offered.
Yes. Yes, I understand.
But I would say to you, in relation to this situation, you presented the subject and therefore, essentially, in a manner of speaking, we're presenting the questions about the energy exchange and what is happening that is creating these glitches, so to speak. And now you have.
Good. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I've become more and more isolated over the past 5 years, and I think there's more than one reason for that, but I'd like to understand from your perspective the primary reason that I have become isolated from family and friends.
And your assessment thus far?
Well, the three reasons that I think it is one is age. I'm 63 and I don't necessarily need to be as social as I once was. The other one is I'm wondering, is it part of the shift, and that it was necessary for me to spend time by myself to work on my shift and work on my channeling and all of that stuff. And the other thing is, the other reason would be woundedness from past relationships, and the fact that I have a great deal of trouble being around other people who are mean and say mean things to me.
I would agree with all of that, and what I would say to you in that is that in relation to the third factor, that is a challenge. That is part of a lesson that you are presenting to yourself in your growth and in your becoming more self-aware in relation to how to let go. But that is, I would say that definitely the energy exchange plays a part in the situation. Most individuals that engage in energy exchange do incorporate a tendency to incorporate more time alone than other individuals.
Yeah.
Come less socially inclined the more and the longer that they engage in energy exchange. Therefore, that is a piece. I would definitely express to you an encouragement to intentionally pay attention to that and not allow that to continue to increase, because this is important that you realize one of the very significant pieces in shifting and in becoming more self-aware is that you are not only recognizing, but that you are allowing yourself to experience in an objective capacity the interconnectedness between yourself and everything and everyone else in your reality. This is very important. Now, in that, you will stifle that experience if you continue to move in the direction of isolating. And that will slow your movement in relation to being more and more self-aware, because this is a very significant piece of becoming self-aware, is that acknowledgement and that experience of interconnectedness. And you can't be allowing yourself to fully experience that if you are isolating yourself objectively. In this, that can be challenging because it may seem and actually even feel at times natural to be expressing being alone more and more. And you actually can even feel comfortable with that. Therefore, it can be deceiving. What I would say to you is a definite encouragement to engage increments in which you allow yourself to take a step outside of that aloneness and what seems to feel comfortable, and to actually encourage yourself to be more interactive. Not only does it keep you healthier, and does it encourage natural regeneration of the body consciousness, which also is instrumental in the aging process of slowing that considerably, but it also very much will be contributing to your movement in your own journey of self-awareness and that interconnectedness. Don't dwell on the past. Acknowledge the experiences, acknowledge your feelings, but then also allow yourself to move in the direction of every moment is new. Regardless that you may be engaging with familiar situations, familiar individuals, it doesn't matter, because you are creating new situations in every moment. It is your choice to make them new. And in that, you actually could challenge yourself, in a manner of speaking, in a fun capacity of looking at familiar people and situations and attempting to observe how much you can create a difference in how you would interact and what you would create that is new.
Am I being oversensitive? I guess is my question.
No, you aren't. But what you are doing is actually somewhat harmful to yourself. You aren't being oversensitive, and I very, very much acknowledge that you deserve to incorporate people in your life that value you, that view you as important, and that are respectful and encouraging and supportive to you. You deserve that. And I would express that part of the lesson, in a manner of speaking, is recognizing people that don't do that in your life and giving yourself permission to say no and to not continue to incorporate them in your life. But the difficulty with that with you is that you have actually engaged that one step farther, which that is the problem, is that I acknowledge you that you have allowed yourself to recognize that this is not acceptable for you and that you don't deserve this and that you deserve to incorporate people in your life that do honor you. And in that, you have moved in that direction and to a degree empowered yourself with certain choices to not be engaging people that don't honor you, but then you stopped. Then you didn't follow that by choosing to engage other people.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Direction of being discouraged and untrusting, and then moving in the direction of following those feelings and then therefore isolating yourself, which that was the turn that isn't beneficial.
Right.
Or that isn't beneficial. Now, what I would say to you is I would very much encourage you to begin engaging steps in increments, not to overwhelm yourself, in which you can allow yourself to begin engaging with other individuals, again, in a capacity that does honor you. And in that, while you are moving in that direction, you can also be addressing to the other individuals, family individuals. You don't have to engage them. That is important for you to know. You do not have to engage them objectively at all. But that within you, you move to a point in which you can actually genuinely and realistically recognize that interconnectedness between you and them, and therefore not incorporate the judgment towards them any longer and no blame. But that doesn't mean that there is any necessity at all whatsoever for you to actually objectively engage them, because that would be assuming that they themselves have changed their behaviors, and that is unlikely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or don't want to place yourself in a harmful situation again, or in a situation in which you are not valued, but you do want to promote your own growth in your self-awareness, and in doing so, recognizing that these people are a part of you and you are a part of them because everything is interconnected. And in that you can look at that as an aspect of yourself that requires healing, and that you can express that within yourself and acknowledge that, and therefore not incorporate any expression of blame or judgment in relation to these individuals, and then you will be much lighter consequently. I would also express that will help you to move forward in the direction of engaging new individuals and not being so skeptical.
Thank you. That's really helpful. You said to me last time I spoke to you that I would not be having another relationship, as in romantic partner, until I learned to stop putting everybody else before myself and taking the second position in my relationships. How am I going with that? I've been working on it.
I definitely acknowledge you in that. And I would say that in what I have acknowledged to you in this conversation about valuing yourself more and empowering yourself and not having people in your life that don't honor you, that is a tremendous step in that direction. I would very much acknowledge you that you are moving in that direction of being more and more important to yourself. I would say that for the most part, you have moved in that direction very well, and I congratulate you. I would say that the one piece in this that you still somewhat struggle with is your children.
Yep.
Placing them ahead of yourself. Making them more important than you. But I would also express that that is understandable and not unusual.
Is it common for dispersed essences like mine to have trouble being, like, I find all the time that I am constantly tuned into other people's comfort and needs and not wanting to be intrusive towards them, that's it's really hard for me to disconnect that. Is that because I'm dispersed?
Yes. But you can learn to do that. You definitely can. I would express a tremendous encouragement. I would say that for many individuals that are dispersed, that is challenging for them, but you can learn how to stop that.
Yeah. Yes, well, I'm aware
and
of it.
And it is a matter of practicing, and what I would say to you in that, in relation to that practice, is this is something that requires continuous practice until you reach the point in which it becomes automatic. And in that, don't stop practicing simply because you have accomplished doing the action repeatedly. Until it becomes automatic, don't stop practicing.
Okay. And one final question before I go. I've become very, very good at flying in my dreams. I used to be really bad at it, and I'd have to flap my wings, and it would take a great deal of effort. And now when I fly in my dreams, I have this kind of understanding that other people don't know how good I am at it. It's kind of my secret, and I swoop and I soar, and I'm really good at it. And I'm thinking that that's a metaphor for something in my life. What is it a metaphor for?
I would say what we have been discussing. Becoming more yourself, empowering yourself, giving yourself permission to express yourself and be yourself. I would say that it is a metaphor for coming into your own, expressing your empowerment, and I would definitely congratulate you in that.
Thank you so much, Elias. That was wonderful. I'm really very grateful.
You are exceptionally welcome, my dear friend. And I definitely anticipate our next meeting. Remember that trick?
Yes, I will. Thank you.
I express tremendous encouragement to you, my friend. You can accomplish all of this.
Yes.
For you have already accomplished the most difficult part.
Thank you.
Rest may be as easy as that soaring, flying in your dreams.
Thank you.
And dear friend, and a great encouragement as always. Au revoir.
Au revoir.